Who determines the true worth of your life? Is it the voices around you, the society that watches, measures, and judges, or is it something deeper and more personal residing within you? In a world where every action is open to scrutiny and commentary, it can often seem like our self-worth is shaped by everyone else but ourselves. Yet, I want to introduce you to a transformative idea born from the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Your real value isn't defined by applause or criticism, but by something internal and unshakable. Today, we're exploring how Stoic philosophy can reshape your entire understanding of self-worth, helping you rise above societal noise and guiding you toward a life that is resilient, grounded, and authentic. We're not here for surface-level affirmations. We're diving deep, asking you to question the foundations of where you seek your validation. Be warned, some of the insights we'll explore may feel radical, especially if you're used to depending on external approval. But if you're ready to challenge the status quo, to engage with ancient wisdom in a modern world, and to uncover what it means to live life on your own terms, then you're exactly where you need to be. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with others on a similar path of growth and philosophical inquiry. Stay with us till the end, because the ancient truths we'll uncover are more relevant now than ever. And sometimes, the most profound discoveries begin with questioning everything we thought we understood. Let's now unpack one of the most deceptive forces in our lives, the trap of external validation. It's a subtle but powerful snare embedded into the culture we consume every day. Think about it. How often do we let likes, comments, or follower counts shape how we feel about ourselves? But is our self-worth truly a sum of digital affirmations? The Stoics would argue otherwise. Rooted in ancient Greece and Rome, Stoicism teaches that true good lies within our own virtues, wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. They remind us that the opinions of others are outside our control and therefore irrelevant to our true happiness. Imagine having a sense of peace so strong that a cruel comment or a judgmental look no longer stings because your sense of worth doesn't depend on it. Stoicism isn't about simply enduring, it's about learning where your energy belongs. Consider how addictive it can be to post something and then check obsessively for likes or approval. Each alert feels like a small reward, a dopamine hit, but it never lasts, does it? Soon, we're back looking for more. This hunger for affirmation quickly bleeds into our real lives. We alter how we act, dress, and even choose our paths, all in the name of earning validation from others. And that's the danger. Once your happiness is tied to others' opinions, you've handed over your power. Stoicism offers a radical but freeing alternatives. It invites you to build what Marcus Aurelius called an inner citadel, fortress within that external forces cannot penetrate. This doesn't mean ignoring people, it means changing how much their judgments affect you. True freedom lies in realizing that your joy and self-respect can exist independently of outside approval, grounded instead in your own values and integrity. When we prioritize internal validation, we break the chains of dependence. We begin to live with purpose, guided by what truly matters to us, not by a curated image meant to win fleeting applause. This transformation isn't easy or instant, but it is deeply liberating. It gives you the power to choose your direction, stay true to your principles, and lead a life defined not by reactions but by intention. In stepping into Stoicism, we uncover a revolutionary view of self-worth, one that breaks away from today's norm. Stoic teachings, from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus, teach us that worth isn't something others granted, something we live through our choices and our character. So, what does this mean in practice? It means your value is never up for votes, already within you, waiting to be realized. It means that your worth isn't determined by how many people like your social media post, compliment your appearance, or celebrate your achievements. These external markers may feel good, but they should never become the foundation of your self-worth. For the Stoics, real value lies not in the shifting opinions of others, but in living in accordance with reason, staying true to your nature, and upholding virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's about asking yourself the hard questions. Am I living in integrity with my values? Am I acting with honesty and purpose? This kind of inner questioning leads to a self-respect that's rooted not in fleeting validation, but in the solid ground of virtuous living. Daily reflection, a cornerstone of Stoic practice, isn't merely a tool for self-improvement. It's a way to strengthen and clarify your moral compass. Whether through journaling or quiet contemplation, reflecting on your day helps you evaluate not how you were perceived, but how you acted, whether your choices were wise, fair, brave, and disciplined. This practice trains the mind to seek self-worth in action, not approval. Embracing this mindset doesn't mean you become numb to feedback or isolated from others. It means you learn to weigh their opinions appropriately, using them as verdicts. In a Stoic framework, both praise and criticism become information, not definition. They are fuel for growth, not the source of identity. And that's the beauty of internal self-worth. It's stable, because it's within your control. You no longer have to mold yourself to fit expectations or chase applause. Instead, you gain the quiet power to live a life rooted in who you truly are, anchored in the eternal principles of Stoic thought. This is where inner courage comes in, one of the Stoic virtues most misunderstood and yet most essential. Stoic courage isn't about dramatic gestures or physical feats. It's the everyday bravery required to live honestly, ethically, and in alignment with your values, especially when it's hard. It's the courage to look within, confront your own contradictions, and act based not on fear or approval seeking, but on deep conviction. Think about those moments when you've defended an unpopular truth or stood firm in your principles, despite pressure. That's Stoic courage in action. It's not just about what you face in the world. It's about mastering the battle within. Courage, in the Stoic sense, includes emotional honesty, acknowledging fear, anxiety, or doubt without being ruled by them. It's a strength that comes from understanding that your thoughts and emotions are part of being human, but not always guides to be followed blindly. Instead of suppressing or indulging them, Stoicism teaches us to observe them with reason, respond with clarity, and act with purpose. This is liberating because it shifts your focus from controlling what's outside your power like how people respond to you or how situations unfold, to mastering what is within your control, your choices, your judgments, and your commitment to virtue. Living this way, with inner courage as your guide, you don't merely survive life's challenges, you transform them into opportunities for growth. And part of that growth, surprisingly but crucially, involves embracing vulnerability. While it may not seem stoic at first glance, vulnerability is deeply compatible with stoic strength. It means being open to truth, willing to admit ignorance, ready to accept change, and courageous enough to live authentically, even when it exposes you to judgment or rejection. Vulnerability, when tempered by reason and grounded in virtue, becomes not a weakness but a strength, a necessary part of becoming the person you were meant to be. Vulnerability often carries a negative connotation, frequently mistaken for weakness or something to be concealed. But Stoicism urges us to completely reframe this belief, inviting us to see vulnerability not only as unavoidable but also as a powerful source of strength when paired with self-awareness and rationality. The Stoic view doesn't ask us to suppress our emotions or deny our flaws. Instead, it teaches that acknowledging and confronting them with clarity and integrity is the true path to strength. As human beings, we are all susceptible to fear, uncertainty, and suffering. Stoicism doesn't pretend otherwise. It embraces these realities with wisdom, urging us to face our imperfections, not with shame, but with courage. Vulnerability in the Stoic sense means recognizing what makes us uncomfortable or afraid, and then choosing to meet those experiences with intention and self-command. In fact, it often takes more courage to admit when we're struggling or uncertain than it does to maintain a facade of composure. Sharing one's challenges isn't about expecting others to solve them. It's about stepping into the discomfort with honesty, owning the experience, and growing from it. This mindset turns perceived weaknesses into pathways for personal development by shedding light on what we usually hide. Vulnerability allows us to better understand ourselves and make more conscious choices rooted in virtue rather than fear. It strengthens resilience by removing the power of hidden fears and transforming them into known challenges we are prepared to face. Moreover, vulnerability enriches our relationships. When we express ourselves openly, we create space for deeper connections, where honesty and mutual respect thrive, something the Stoics valued greatly in their vision of a rational, ethical community. Embracing vulnerability also aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what lies within our control, namely our responses, judgments, and choices, while releasing attachment to the uncontrollable, like others' opinions or life's unpredictability. Vulnerability becomes a daily exercise in agency, a test of how wisely we respond to what life brings. Far from weakening us, it teaches us to live more truthfully and with greater emotional clarity. This form of acceptance is not passive, it is an active choice to be grounded in reality and guided by virtue. In this way, vulnerability becomes a strength that fortifies the Stoics' inner life, and it naturally leads us into the cultivation of resilience, which, through the Stoic lens, takes on a much richer meaning than mere recovery from adversity. Stoicism teaches us that resilience is not just about bouncing back, but about transforming hardship into fuel for self-mastery. At the core of this is the dichotomy of control, the disciplined focus on what is within our power, our actions, thoughts, and attitudes, and the calm acceptance of what is not, external events and other people's behavior. This mindset doesn't promote inaction. Rather, it channels energy into what truly matters, allowing us to remain grounded amid chaos. The daily practice of Stoic reflection, often through journaling or meditative review of one's day, helps cultivate this resilience. By assessing not just what happened, but how we responded, we train ourselves to better handle future situations, reinforcing personal responsibility and adaptive growth. Stoics also emphasize the power of perception. How we interpret events shapes our emotional and behavioral response. When we view hardships as opportunities to test and refine our character, they lose the power to derail us emotionally. Another tool is the practice of premeditatio malorum, pre-rehearsing misfortunes in the mind. Far from being morbid, this mental exercise reduces the shock of setbacks, conditioning us to stay composed and act wisely when challenges do arise. All these practices together build a form of resilience that is not brittle but flexible in reason, inner strength, and deliberate choice. Instead of merely surviving adversity, the Stoic, resilient individual thrives through it, becoming stronger, wiser, and more anchored in virtue with every trial faced. Moreover, resilience in Stoicism is not only about withstanding life's hardships, it's about staying unwaveringly committed to your core values regardless of external pressures. This is exemplified in the Stoic principle of amor fati, the love of fate, where Stoics strive to not merely accept, but actively embrace everything life presents, trusting that each experience, whether joyful or painful, holds the potential for moral and philosophical development. This acceptance is not passive surrender. It's a courageous and mindful engagement with life, a choice to extract meaning and growth from every circumstance. Practically speaking, building resilience the Stoic way means fostering a mindset that perceives life's challenges as vital components of our ethical evolution. It's about developing an inner strength that doesn't just survive pressure, but is strengthened by it, growing more composed, grounded, and principled with every test faced. This resilient mindset naturally connects to the Stoic practice of focusing on your own path. Call not to isolation or arrogance, but to authenticity and clarity. It means living a life that is distinctly yours, shaped not by conformity or the shifting expectations of others, but by conscious, rational choices anchored in virtue. For the Stoics, self-sufficiency isn't about rejecting help or wisdom from others. It's about cultivating emotional and intellectual independence. It's about refusing to make your happiness hostage to things outside your control, including praise, status, or fleeting comforts. This doesn't mean cold detachment. It means cultivating a calm rooted in reason, so your inner world remains stable no matter the turbulence outside. Marcus Aurelius exemplifies this mindset. Amidst the weight of leading an empire, he returned daily to his Stoic principles, reminding himself to act justly, think clearly, and govern not out of ambition or fear of judgment, but from integrity. His life challenges us to ask, are we choosing our actions because they are right or because we crave approval or fear criticism? Focusing on your own path also ties into another key Stoic teaching. The obstacle is the way. This means viewing life's setbacks not as blocks on the road, but as part of the road itself, as necessary tools in shaping our character. Every hardship becomes an opportunity to exercise courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. It transforms the journey into a training ground for the soul, where each challenge refines rather than diminishes us. This philosophy demands personal responsibility. Stoicism insists that while you can't control the world, you can always control your response. To focus on your path is to refuse to blame others for your state of mind. It means turning inward, asking how you might think and act differently, and choosing the response that best aligns with your principles. This autonomy is powerful, but it's also demanding. It requires vigilance against the temptation to follow the crowd or chase the easy reward. It asks for daily reflection, a practice central to Stoic life, where you examine your day not for perfection, but for alignment. Did you act in accordance with virtue? Were your choices truly yours? Ultimately, focusing on your path is about authenticity. It's about shaping a life that reflects your best self, forged not by the noise around you, but by reason, virtue, and meaningful action. It is through this ongoing effort that we not only find personal fulfillment, but also contribute to a world grounded in integrity and moral clarity. As you walk your path, let the wisdom of Stoicism be your compass. Thank you for spending this time with me and for being a valued part of our Stoic Journal community. Remember, the Stoic life isn't just about enduring, it's about transforming. So embrace every moment with courage, wisdom, and a clear mind. And if you'd like to explore more Stoic insights, don't forget to watch one of the recommended videos on your screen. Until next time, stay centered, stay reflective, and keep walking your path with virtue.